Okay,
Right.
Willie Hunter, Motherwell legend, great to see you back here at Fir Park. Great to have a chat with you this morning. Could we start just by asking you about your early career? Before you joined Motherwell and the time you were growing up in Edinburgh, how your football career developed before you signed with
Well,
with
we were lucky in some respects, as another player at Motherwell, Bobby Roberts and I were best of friends, and his father had been a player with Trinity Juniors. But when we were at Abbey Hill, we had a teacher called George Duthie, and George Duthie was actually signed with the Hibs at that time.
Right.
Eventually went on and played for Dunfermline for about 5 seasons, but he was still a teacher right through our career. And when we eventually left the primary school and went to the secondary schools, we hadn't seen George because he kept saying, come back any time you want, but we didn't do that. But about 3 or 4 years after that, maybe more, Bobby and I had signed with Motherwell, and he had gone to Dunfermline. And when we were at Motherwell, one of our first early games, before we had a run in the first team that went on, we played a game for Harry Colville, who was the Dunfermline centre half, and it was a match for him, for his benefits, and it was jam-packed. In these days, crowds went to all these games, and it was Dunfermline versus Motherwell. And Bobby and I, it was one of our early games, and of course when we knew that Mr. Duthie had gone to Dunfermline, we were saying, I wonder if he'll come in and see us. And he knocked on the door before the game and came in and said, shook our hands, have a good game. Always remember, because Bobby was shyer than me, thank you very much, sir. And we were then players at that time, so that's when we went on from playing. Bobby and I went right through and played with Motherwell eventually.
Ah, great. So during that time there was obviously some fantastic players, many fantastic players in Scotland and beyond. Were there particular players that you modelled yourself on as you were developing your talents?
Coming through, I mean, the famous five and the Hearts inside trio. Bobby Roberts and I used to play for the BBs in the morning, and then go in the afternoons to either the Hearts games or the Hibs games and see the famous five or the three inside forwards at Tynecastle. And you would like to think that somewhere down the line you were picking up things from them, so you developed your career on what they did and how they reacted to whatever, you know. Yeah.
So these were skills that you then honed at your school football
and beyond.
Gordon
Smith, did you ever see Gordon Smith playing, the tricks that he had?
I've heard all
Willie Hunter had that trick. And
so these were things that you developed in your range of skills that you brought to Motherwell here. So moving on to your time, you were 10 years here at Motherwell. You're part of the Ansell Babes, the famous Ansell Babes, and producing football that was some of the best football that's ever been seen here at Fir Park and beyond. What were the kind of highlights of your career here at Motherwell? Were there particular matches or
the highlights,
goals that stand out? That
in general terms, you could say they pull that out, and that was really, I mean, anybody that's still alive and played in these games will tell you the same thing. We played against, I think, maybe 10 foreign players or English players, English teams. In general terms, they were only friendlies, but there were full houses and there were fantastic games and fantastic teams. We beat Flamengo 9-2 here, and they were champions of Brazil. We had beaten Manchester United 7-2 the week before. That sort of thing. And Leeds United, who came up, we beat them 9. Was it 9 or 10? We beat them when they came up to the first division. So all of these games were part of the sessions with Ansell for the fans. And it was really fantastic for us, obviously, playing them.
And with the Ansell Babes and the fantastic reputation that they have for all these years, what was it that really made them stand out against other teams? What was there a single factor that really made that difference with that team? Was it the manager's approach, or was it the players?
I couldn't really tell you in as much. Every fan would have a different story, but Bobby Ansell had only two scouts, one in the east and one in the west, and it was him that brought the players together. So you would have to ask them, really, in some respect, what were they actually looking at when they wanted Bobby Ansell to sign these players? Because we all had similar types of things that we were all fairly good at, and that was controlling the ball, passing the ball, looking after each other. We didn't need to be told that, and Bobby Ansell had all that from his 2 scouts, and he only had 2 scouts.
So there wasn't, I would imagine nowadays in football there's so much talk about the formations and the tactics and so on. What was the position back in the
well,
days of
here's another wee thing that you could put on board. When we went in to play the game, the team was on the board, and you were either number 7 or you were number 11.
Right.
And if you were number 11, you had to play outside left, or you had to play outside right, or you had to play centre forward. For the game, at least for most of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen St John playing outside left for most of the games, but he would be into the centre area where he was going to score goals, and then he would drip back out there, and that's what we did ourselves, with a wee bit of talk from Bobby Ansell, but we didn't practice anything to any great degree, you know.
And was there a lot of focus and fitness as well with the team? Was that something that...
I would say no.
No?
I would say no, other than the guys who became fit wanted to be fit themselves. I used to run to the top of Arthur Seaton back doing again for fun with the rest of my mates, because I lived there. And there was a lot of guys like that, and St John had his own wee punch bags in his house and all these sort of things, so we did a lot of training ourselves, and we were all, I'm just saying to Tom coming through, there was half a dozen of us at least, were very, very fit, but we did it by ourselves.
But a lot of it, I would imagine, was about playing the game and working with the ball, and I heard the story about, was it you and Ian St John used to play with the Sunday kickabout when you were still, you'd just been signed with Motherwell, and you used to enjoy that so much. On a Sunday after a match, you would play at the local park.
I've got a wee story there. St John came through on the odd occasion to Edinburgh to see it, or if we were playing in Edinburgh, he'd stay over with me in the wee daft house that we had, which was really hopeless, but anyway, outside toilets, doesn't matter. Outside there, the adjacent school to where we lived was where I lived. So it was 5 tenements, and there was a school, and they had this big, just after the war, this big piece of ground and that they ended up flattening out, and it was for a place for the kids to play. And it was about 50 yards long and 20 yards wide, and we used to play street games. So Begg's Buildings, where I lived and where St John used to stay, we would play Milton Street on a Sunday, every Sunday, and I was still at Motherwell. So anyway, we used to play these games, and we played this particular game. St John stayed for a Hearts game, and stayed in my house, and after it said, I've got to get back home and that. I said, you're not going to play in Milton Street versus Begg's Buildings? No, I said, come on, just for half an hour. So we're playing this wee game, this is a true story, and it's 7 against 7, or if another guy's turn to put their bed in that, we'd make it up. It was 7 or 8 against 7. Or 7 against 7. The ball went over the railings, and I went to get over the railings for the ball, and there was Bobby Ansell standing at his house on the other side of the road with a hat on. So I hear you.
So that was
there was an old wreck of a tenement at the end where other goals were, and St John, being a wee bit cleverer than me, 2 years older, grabbed Bobby Roberts and he hid behind that, so Ansell didn't see it. But I got a row. Don't ever do it again. But that's what we did every Sunday.
Fantastic. Great. And going back to your career with Motherwell, you play all over Scotland and beyond. Was there any grounds that were your particular favourite ground away from?
I used to like playing. No, I used to like playing at Tynecastle. I thought it was very, very tight, and there was always a good crowd in that. To the extent one of our best games was played there. I don't think you were as old as you would see it. And because I was only 17 at the time, and we were all in the team, and we played against at Tynecastle, and we won 2-0. I scored in the last minute, and Quinny scored just 30 seconds after that, because a penalty kick as well, just after it. But after that particular game, which was fantastic, it was 45,000 in the locked gates. All the players in Edinburgh that played, whether it was juvenile or senior, used to go to the Pally to the dancing. And the Hearts Hibs team would go, and the Hibs team and that. But the Hearts team would go to the Pally, and it would always go up to the balcony, anyone that were there, because they were having a look and see who they were going to dance with and all the rest of it. And I remember that night, because wee Jimmy Robertson, who played about a year at Motherwell, he wasn't a regular, but eventually he came to Motherwell. But we were the jivers, we loved jiving. So in the jiving situation, we used to jive, and the Hearts fans were up, and we won that game. And wee Jimmy was playing, I think, in that game. But as we're driving, we were looking up to Willie Bob and all these guys up in the
brilliant.
I can remember that, because they were going down, yeah, and Dave McCann will get you and all the rest of it. Bobby and I were, Jimmy and I were jiving in the dance floor.
So you beat Hearts at football and at the
Correct, at the jiving. Oh, aye, we all at young couldn't jive.
There you go.
Play.
That's brilliant. And again, at that time, who was your most difficult opponent? Who was the player that you least liked playing against? Was there
Ian Burns. Really? Ian Burns was funny enough, and he was a lovely guy. And I met him later on when I was in insurance, and he was a very quiet guy, but a tough guy. And he was right up your behind. Yeah. And so was the wee boy Smith that played with, no, was it Smith?
Eric Smith.
Eric Smith.
Yeah.
Beat you like that.
Yeah.
To the extent, they were the tough guys that, other than that, you know, I was quite happy with. But I remember when he came back up to play, I can't remember who he played with, wee Smithy. Morton. We were playing Morton, and I was in at the Hibs for about a year. And we went down to the game, and as it turns out, our bus broke down, and we were late, and we arrived there about 2:45 before the game. So when we got there, Ron McFarlane, the manager, says, "There's nothing I can tell you, just get stuck in." I always remember that. He said, "There's nothing I can tell you, we've only got quarter an hour. Get stuck in." So I went out, and I was playing immediately against Eric Smith, and the first kick he had was at me. And I admired him when he played with Celtic. Yeah. And he was a tough wee guy, but that's the first thing he done to me, was coming out and beat you.
And that made you more determined
that
after
right.
that to get
that
by
was
him.
Right. I think they won that game, which was the usual thing. There was big crowds and all that, and it was smashing, you know.
And go back to Fir Park, the crowds at Fir Park at that time must have been, what, 30,000?
Well, we were getting 30,000 at most big games. Yeah. Obviously, smaller games, we only had a local crowd, but we still had a local 20,000 that came regular. 30,000 jam-packed it with the big games, and the continental games were fantastic.
Because I remember my early days coming to Fir Park, I used to, you'd go behind the goal that Motherwell were shooting into in the first half, and then you would go around the back of the stand, the enclosure to get to the other end, and the opposition supporters would be going the other way. Just a different environment altogether.
All the teams done that, I think.
What we see now. But move away from Motherwell, you did tremendously well to get caps for Scotland. What were the kind of highlights of your time playing with Scotland? You had 3 caps?
I got 4 main caps, I got 4 league caps and 5 under 23 caps. And I have to say the under 23 caps were the best excitement I had, because at that time it was like a full international. Because there was guys coming up for England, and Morris Setters, who we played against, he was a man about 23 going to 24, and I was 17 going to. The 23s were like a full international, and they were always good events. And we played at Ibrox. There was about 40,000 came to see under 23s. Morris Setters played for England, Jimmy Greaves played for England. Jimmy scored 3 goals against John Martis, believe it or not, and we scored 4 goals against them. It just were fantastic games. At under 23, it was a brilliant level to play, you know.
And the full international, the kind of players that you were playing with then?
They were all good players. We were unfortunate, and I over there, we went over to play Austria, Hungary and Turkey. And my head was in a cloud, so I didn't realise you're travelling all over the place and to meet these players and then play with them. But they had just been at war against each other. So you went to the games, and went to Hungary, there was nothing in the shops at all, but there was 100,000 at the game. And you went to Turkey, and they were the same, there was nothing in the shops, and they had been fighting with Austria and all the rest of it. So the full internationals were a wee bit iffy, to be honest with you. And the one against Wales, when I came back, I got pulled down, and we should have got a penalty, and I've got a wee photograph of it, like that, 4 different steps. Anyway, if I had got that goal, we might have won, but they beat us 1-0.
And that game was at Wales? Was that at St Ninians?
St Ninians
Park. So, and the preparation for the internationals, how did that go? There would be a short lead-in time before each game.
Very relaxed, because you had the likes of David Mackay who just wanted fun and all the rest of it. So when you were out before the games and all that, John White played in them. But when we trained, we were all good trainers at that extent, but a lot of us did it under our own ability. And the managers would maybe just stand like that, and even if it was tactics were very simplified. in these days, you know.
Yep.
But folk playing wingers were dribblers normally. Centre forward were tough guys, not necessarily big, but it was all laid on a plate for them.
Playing to their strengths,
you know?
Okay. So just fast forward to Scottish football now. What's your view on Scottish football?
I don't enjoy it so much in that, to the extent that the boy that plays centre forward for Hibs is the kind of guy that I like, who's really a winger, I forget his name now. But to me he looks like an old fashioned player. But generally you're not getting the excitement, and you're getting maybe 1,000 passes, and you're reading about it in the paper, and they've got all these stats and 1,000 passes, and you're seeing 1,000 passes where it went to him and it went to him and it went to him and that sort of thing, you know.
Just across the way and back the way.
So I don't think it's as exciting because there's not as much stuff in the penalty box. End of story.
So how would you go about changing that for the better, to get a better product for the fans and a better team, a national team?
Well, I'd like to think or hope that wingers came back. Wingers came back, and their job is to get to the dead ball and get it over, because once it's in the penalty box you've got a chance if you're actually coming in the ball. Other than that, that's the only way I think is you could change the game for the benefits of everybody, you know.
And coming back to Motherwell,
I mean, just sorry to emphasise that, when you go back to see some more games, tell me how many times, whether the winger or whether he's got a different name nowadays, or whether anybody wide actually goes to the dead ball. They go as far as that and then they come back and they're passing the ball back. And it goes back to, I went to a game the other day, I didn't help a guy, I go with a guy who is a scout for Manchester City, excuse me. We went to see Celtic play, and I think it wasn't Air Road, but it was a low team in the first game in the Cup. Celtic got the centre and they passed the ball, and because I'm with John likes doing counts and that, I said I'll count the passes for Celtic, you count it for their growth. You'll not believe it, the game just started, Celtic passed it, 67 passes, right, and they went up and scored by the way, but you're saying that's general for teams now. I mean, England done it, did they know, and can't mind it, they were winning 6-0 at half time, and they came out in the second half and they centred the ball, and they had 70 passes, because I do it regularly. So that's the thing that annoys me to a degree, that
absolutely.
All the time.
And fans love to see that, the winger getting to the dead ball line, and it's so, as soon as they do that, they know, for the defence it's danger.
And everybody says you've got to pass the ball, it's modern football now. To a degree, yes, because it's grass, it's like that, it's level, there's no bumps of that. I was just saying to Tam coming through, when we were kids we didn't need to be told how to play. You had to control the ball first, because you played on lovely surface for 3 games in the start of the season, then you got the rain, then you got the mud, then you got the ice, till eventually you had to stop the ball. Whether it was Dave Mackay rushing it or not, didn't matter, you had to stop the ball, and the game would look a wee bit slower, and they say, it was far too slow in that. It was only slow because we wanted to control it and then start playing.
Good. Thinking now a bit closer to home with Motherwell, you'll be aware that the club is now fan owned. The Welsh Society.
I believe so. I don't know
the Welsh Society are now the majority shareholders and own the club, run the club.
Good.
Do you think that's the way forward for
Generally,
Motherwell and for other clubs? That fans are now.
That's what I don't know about the other clubs, but I think Motherwell, that's one way they could see what the fans want, because if you're only getting 3,672, you can count the fans, and one day you've got 3,671. You're trying to get more crowds coming to the games, you know. So no, I think it's a good thing in a lot of respects.
And the club's working hard to be a real community club, a community trust,
that's right.
And using football as a vehicle for engaging with people, to get fitter, to support people, health and so on, and back into employment. A lot of really good stuff going on. So it's really positive. Apart from the recent results in the park haven't been so good, but hopefully that will change tonight and beyond.
Get the kids in again.
That's it.
It's a simple story to everything, because you threw 1 or 2 kids in, and then they're still bringing players in, and they've not got a lot of money. So we've got to take a chance, I think, and say, right, let's have half a dozen kids in.
Yeah, good. And again, the football club here have got a tremendous youth set up, which is a real
That's
asset for the
if they've
club.
got a good youth club, get them in.
Yeah, get them playing. So
You know.
good. So away from your time after your football career, you've been working, but more recently you've been involved with Sporting Memories, and you're also involved in writing and reciting poetry. Can you tell us a wee bit about the poetry and how that came up?
Well, no really. I think even going back to primary school, we had a Mr. Barry who, funny enough, used to like poetry. Can't remember us doing much, but I wasn't too bad at school, and I was maybe one with Sheila Anderson and Sheila Poaches that would go up and read the poems and that. But generally, I don't know. It really, when I'm doing it, I don't know how the stuff's coming into my head, to be honest with you. But as I say, I've just sent it to him 222 poems I've written.
Is that right?
And they're all long ones. I've done 20 odd for my grandson as he came up to 20, 21, 23, 24.
Yeah.
And they're all 3 pages. I don't know how it's in your head.
Yeah, a great talent. And
I don't know if it's a talent. It certainly releases a lot of nonsense that's in my head.
And you've written some books as well.
I've written books as well. One when I did my wife and I did the walk.
Southern Upland Way.
Southern Upland Way, which was great. And a lot of that stuff, the physical stuff that I do, is mainly because of the injuries that I had, because I wanted to keep working on it, but now, because I can hardly walk now, and this wrist is killing me, blah blah blah. But I used to like that because, although you felt a bit of pain, you were able to get through it, and that meant that you were still able to do it next week and whatever. So I do like that, and I still do it.
Great. So keeping fit and keeping very active.
So anyway, sorry to get back to that. So I did a story on the trip to there. I met a couple of guys, believe it or not, who played football, and I forget their names. One of them played with Dunfermline, right winger, and there was another guy who had played football. But it was great because you walk 20 mile, 25 mile a day, and you always meet somebody, and a lot of them were football minded as well, you know. So yes, and I've kept it up. My wife still does it. She still does the walking. I didn't do as much walking, but I still try and keep myself.
Have you done the West Island Way or parts
No,
of
I've not done that one. No, I've not done that. We're meant to do it. We did the one from Newcastle area all the way over as well.
Right. Pennine Way.
Pennine Way.
Yeah.
So we've done quite a few of them.
Great.
But now we're lights down to the level ones. Portobello area. There's great walks over that area. And down at Gullen where I live, we used to do that.
It was spot for choice for coastal walks.
Aye. So it's there, so you had to do it.
Good,
remember I walked past Gordon Smith's house down at Gullen.
Aye. So did you look him up?
Yes, I've tried to, but he wasn't there. But that's where I lived, no far from him. I thought, I'm going to do that walk from here to Gullen. From Gullen down to there. But unfortunately Gordon wasn't there at that time. Because he was another hero.
Yeah.
We're great heroes in these things.
Yeah. Some amazing players.
Terrific.
Great memories.
Yeah.
Willie Hunter, it's been an absolute privilege and pleasure to
talk
to you this morning, and thanks very much for your time. And just on behalf of everybody at the club here, I wish you continued success with your poetry and with the excellent work you're doing with Sporting Memories. Wales, and it's got all the details there in the photograph, just as a wee memento of today, and to thank you on behalf of the Wales Society and the former players.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.